Didn't look, was Mr. Debris.
Morning, Todd.
Morning, y'all. Morning, Todd. How you doing? All right. How's everybody today? Great.
So I thought their mother been sent.
I think that she was last year, I do, but other than that, I haven't heard anymore.
So maybe it was kind of unexpected.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there was something going on last year. If I remember right, I've slept since then. It seems that there were some problems last year.
It's true.
Yeah. Take care.
Morning, Sheriff.
All right, so I'll budget stuff at first. Choosing one service. I can make one. I'll leave it to this one. Oh, yes, and there's some of these.
Hi, Chris. I'm Mary.
Hello.
No, that's the last thing.
You said there's one of these.
Hiring them to go over our training on a personal note.
Thank you.
And then also county does it, I don't have a problem with it, but I was really asking her if they can require this, and that's her response to me, that's just her personal. Okay. That's her response to me on it, but I wanted to have you be aware. Okay. What was wrong with that?
Is that really the only,
I think I'm gonna requires that.
That was it.
is that the only thing that requires us? Yeah.
Just,
You know.
right.
As I said, the other department, county does it without any issues, so.
Feels like causing us.
All right, I've got 9 o'clock, call the meeting to order, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And what is the purpose of the executive session?
Non-elected employee
Performance.
performance.
Okay.
You ready for a motion?
Yes, I'm ready for a motion.
I move we go into executive session for the purpose of personnel matters.
Yeah, hang on, I'll accept the motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been probably moved second to approve the agenda as presented. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carried. Thank you, Lynn.
How long do you want? 15?
15 should be long enough.
Okay. Move we go into executive session for the purpose of personnel matters, non-elected personnel, for a period of 15 minutes, starting at 9:02.
For employee performance.
Getting there.
Okay.
With the meeting to reopen at 9:17 at this location with Christy, Mary, and our attorney present during the session to discuss employee performance.
I'll second
Okay, it's been properly moved and second to go into executive session for non-elected personnel, employee performance for 15 minutes to reopen in this room. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Morning, Joe.
Morning.
Morning, how you doing?
Thank you. you have a good weekend?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Get blown away. I don't know.
Lonely?
Something.
What'd you say?
I didn't get blown away.
Oh, you didn't get
So windy.
Hey, Scott. How you feeling?
Scott, welcome back.
Thanks. Bachelor news bar.
I'm not hiring you. I can't stand the liability.
All right, what you got today, guys?
I got one of those letters from Vance also.
Okay, so that, I think it was the same one, right?
Probably. Christie just said bring it up here.
Okay.
We got a transfer, taking rights, transfer out here to Road and Bridge.
Yep.
So. For my notes from last time, I think you called and said we we're gonna add 254 dust control back on, so, we're still sticking with that, correct?
Yep. As long as it's same price and everything.
Yeah.
Already talked about it, yep.
Yep, it is.
When do you anticipate they'll start?
They actually called this morning and they're gonna start putting some down in that frac tank, kind of using that as a, staging area, that way, when they start out here, they not have such a long run back and forth.
Gonna do the county portion first and then residents, or you gonna do the residents first?
Kind of leaving that up to them.
Okay.
A lot of the residents, we don't have their money stuff in yet, so.
Yeah.
Try knock the county out first, I would say.
So when are we gonna start prepping roads and get the edges knocked down and potholes out and all that?
Take that to,
I gotta get a better feel for them of what days they're starting out talking about starting. So,
we have a deadline for the public though.
to get their money turned in.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it is,
17th or 27th.
Next month
Yeah, April.
of April, okay.
oh, not the,
Yeah, because we told, on our list, it said we could start as soon as May, possibly May.
Okay.
Like I said, we got another month.
Well, that's what, I just wanna make sure that we are getting things prepped and, I'll make sure we get
It'd be
these
too
ready to
soon right now. I mean,
Yeah.
Especially if you got rain coming this
Sure.
week and easy wasting
Yep.
time.
well, I just like I said, I just wanna make sure we got everything scheduled for that, so we're, tentatively scheduled, so
And
we can get,
Joe and I just talked about, I told him, I said, we'll probably just have to, get to the point on our tubes where we're just gonna stop for a few weeks and use those people to, help with flagging and all that stuff.
Mhm.
We do have flagging class set up for, tomorrow. There's, K-Works, or K-Camp's coming out, and they'll do the flagging class again and forklift. Power truck training course is what it is. So anything you put forks on, they want to have a class on. So it's about an hour and a half for that, and 15 minutes for the flagging class. So that will be on tomorrow.
becoming certified forklift operator.
So, that's where we're at with that. Just an FYI, I was told this morning that, we ran out of fuel out of the shop, for the trucks, so they all had to run down the Hoyt last week to get fuel last Friday. And then when they did bring fuel out here, he brought like 900 gallons, so what they filled up with right today, that day is probably gone.
so did somebody from within Road and Bridge call out there and ask why?
I just got the information this morning.
Did anybody call?
Call Century.
Call,
Naughty
B&B, Naughty Pine, and say, wanna know why we don't have fuel, and why it's running completely out?
I thought it was supposed to be monitored.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
So like I said,
so, yeah, so I
I just got back today, so.
yeah, no, that would be one of my first phone calls, figure out why.
Yep.
Get that filled and done.
And also, he hasn't done anything with those, monitoring deals down there on the other tank, either. That's been for a couple months. All right, so it's, he'll have to go. Have a sit down and see what's going on.
Which location ran out of fuel, that one or?
The one at the shop. What's that truck? It's the truck fuel that we're out of. We had a gentleman calling a while back, wanting some help clearing some trees up off of our road, south of 9 Highway. That's all been done and completed now, so he's happy with that. He had some fence he was gonna put in, so he did most all the work, he just helped his trees out.
Meaning, we went just in our right of way.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And there's a tube up there we need to replace,
Okay.
a cross tube. And we haven't done that yet, but anyway, that tree portion of it's been completed. We're ditched over there, west of E on 118 road, thing from E to C. They're going ahead and get it hit between E and F on 118 this week too, while they're there. So it's going to knock out another mile right there on ditch. Matt's got a tube on G Road, north of 238 that he's wanting to put in this week, if they can get that done, depending on weather. The Dodge pickup, we still have issues with it down here at Ellis Boys. It's been down there over 2 months now. And every time we're turning around, they're saying, well, it's this piece. And so they get that piece in, no, it's this piece, that didn't work. So now they're back to saying it's probably an ECM that it may be out, and they're stuck like $800 for that.
Now, how new is this pickup?
That was the one they got right when the Eric started, or I mean, when Eric was still here. Was it 20, 19 or 20?
There's nothing still under warranty, of course, on it anymore, so.
Probably so.
So if it wasn't under warranty, why didn't you bring it back there?
We took it there first, okay, because we didn't think it was gonna be that big a deal. So they had it for 2 or 3 weeks, called us up, said it was fixed. Bryson didn't even make it out of the parking
Right,
lot.
I remember the story. My question is, if it wasn't that big of a deal and it's not under warranty, why is it going there?
I don't know.
Why is it not being fixed out here? Do they not have
They
the
didn't.
capability?
They did not have, at the time, we didn't have that scanner thing. And then again, I think they did everything that they could to try to figure it out. Because they haven't figured it out down here
But my suggestion, if it's not under warranty, I wouldn't take it back to Dodge. I would have taken it to Ireland Custom Exhaust. I mean, they've got some really good diesel mechanics out there.
yet.
I'd go get it and just take it out there.
Well, that's, the conversation was this morning, is when do we just say, stop, we're not dealing with this anymore, we're gonna go somewhere else with it.
And I think that time's come, it's been out there for 2 months and they haven't
Well,
got
they had-
anything done.
They had a part that they said that, was needed, and they told Bryson it'd be like 45 days to get it. Okay, so he comes back to the shop, calls up the Dodge dealer in, Seneca, Seneca, I think, calls up there. They tracked it down within like a couple hours, and, physically, where they said it was, they had a couple, they said, yes, we have it, they went out there, they weren't there. So they actually physically found it, and Bryson had it here in 2 days. Down there to them, they put it in, and said, well, that wasn't it.
Do we have an account with, ICE?
I don't know if we do.
I think I would set one up because, I mean, it would be to our benefit if they can't handle the job out here and it's not a warranty. That would be the first place I would take anything.
Okay, let's see. So,
So I would get that set up, talk to Barry or,
Okay.
yeah, get that set up. And I would go grab that Dodge truck and, pull it out there, take it out there and say, let's figure this out.
okay. Mary was wanting to pass along to you guys, Mary Savage, that, Wednesday she'll be emailing you guys the right-of-way sheets, for the bid for the quarter and the log sheets. So, just wanna pass that along. The sheets I sign off on now.
Oh, okay.
And then I emailed you guys the rock that was put down from last week. And I think the only other thing I got is, I came back, stopped the other day, and there was I sent
Yeah,
this.
send this to me.
Okay. What is, do I need to do anything with that?
Yeah, you do.
It's a-
Well, it's a subpoena, it's a record subpoena, so, parties in a lawsuit can seek out documents from third parties using a subpoena. And this is kind of like a business record subpoena. And, I can't remember, can you hear that?
Well, normally all that stuff goes to the clerk's office when they have.
Yeah,
record
this is the
requests.
Larison versus McManical case. Do we have somebody defending Mr. McManical from the county?
Not that I would,
Nothing I know
not that I know of.
Okay. It goes to the, well, this goes, I'm assuming the plaintiff is Ogden Benson, that they're asking for evidence of communications between, I guess, excavation, digging, and moving of items on the property at Holton. So I think in the process of executing a warrant, they,
That would have been between Tim Morris and your office. He would have called and asked permission to
Oh,
get
for
a
digging
report.
down here? At the-
at the place.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So,
Yeah. So, I mean, all you gotta do is find, do what they say, and say, do we have anything
it won't
that
be,
sheriff?
I don't think there'll be any
It's
documents.
just a phone call.
Yeah,
Well, that's it, you gotta do the search, and you gotta say, at the end, I've searched for documents, I've searched for things, and we don't have any documents. Or you don't, or if you do, if you have like a phone log or anything, you produce it, and then if, I suppose if there's some records that would show who did the work.
That's what I say, is we probably like that, you know.
Yeah, and
We
I,
ran the excavator and how long we were there.
yeah, and I think that's fair game, so
Okay.
it would just be like, kind of broad net to say, how did this come in, who asked, who was dispatched, how long they worked there, and however you log that, so.
Okay.
I mean, they're entitled to it, and it's just very basic background information, I would think, because
Yeah,
I'm assuming if someone asked you, you guys did it.
right. That's how it was.
Okay. And, yeah, that's kind of a rush, because I guess it's due Friday, so if you have problems, let me know.
All the problem is being gone.
Yeah.
Okay, so, all I can.
Joe, you got anything?
executive.
Nick, you
Okay.
want?
I move we go into executive session for the purpose of personnel matters, non-elected personnel for a period of 20 minutes, starting at
32?
9:32, returning at 9:52, in this office, this current location, inviting Scott and Joe and our attorney. Employee performance is the
Personnel matters, employee performance.
personal matters, employee performance.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to go into executive session for 20 minutes for non-elected personnel, employee performance.
For everybody.
Here's some housekeeping here, where we're getting on station district. This is Northeast Kansas Environmental Services requesting their yearly stipend. Department of Health and Environment for water quality for Crystal Inn. That's it. This is just a copy of the letter that was sent to the EMS requesting records.
No response as of yet.
What's that?
No response as of yet.
Okay. And we also have here a retail liquor license for the Prairie Bend Casino and Resort. We need a motion to approve that.
You do.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. So I would entertain a motion to approve the retail liquor license for the Prairie Bend Casino and Resort, beginning April 1st, 2026.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded to approve the liquor license for the Prairie Bend Casino and Resort beginning April 1st, 2026. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign, motion carried. Yeah, well, those, he did get it in on time this year, so.
Barely.
That was the response.
Yes, I'm reading that right now. I'm glad they didn't go back with us. Tell us what it was.
Good morning. Morning.
Morning, guys. How are you? Good. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Gentlemen's leave. I didn't see you back here.
That's okay.
How are you all day?
Good, good. How are you? How's everybody?
Good.
Loving every minute of it so far.
It's a wonderful day outside.
It is.
It's gonna be better maybe later this week when we get some rain.
Yeah, it's getting.
It's getting dry.
It's getting worrisome, if you're honest. The ponds are looking pretty low.
Yes, most definitely.
That's my biggest concern. It's been real nice for cattle though, dealing with all
Oh,
that.
yeah,
Just drive around wherever you want.
exactly right.
Well,
Go ahead.
I'll, Jared Bowser, Sheriff of the Board, really appreciate your guys' support as always. I know I say that a lot and said that at our annual meeting and stuff, you guys heard it, supposed to have been to our annual meeting, so appreciate that. We got a good group, we care a lot about conservation and the work we do in this county. And as you can see, I'll let Brian talk about the stuff that he handed out to you and highlight some of the things, but yeah, we really do appreciate your support and we'll continue doing the work for the farmers and the landowners of Jackson County, help them preserve and conserve the land and the water for the future, so.
Sounds good. Yeah, so, for our budget request, we've been at 68,000, that's where we're at, we're not asking for an increase or anything, so that's where we want. So, like to be, if all possible. But just through the year, what the Conservation District does, I mean, as far as bringing in dollars to the county, we have a multitude of programs which are listed in our annual book. You probably, if you were at our annual meeting, you've seen some of those things, but overall, we help bring in about, this last year, $656,000 over that. Most of those dollars are generally circulated through the county, through contractors, ag retailers, and the producers themselves. So, when we pull the dollars in, the majority of those are coming back into the county interest. So, we do everything we can when the programs are available to bring in money. We have some nice programs right now. We have what's called the Kansas, the KRPI, it's a Kansas Reservoir Protection Plan. We brought in over $535,000 with 77 contracts last year and put cover crops on over 16,000 acres in the county. So we address water quality and we're hoping that has a lasting impact. So I guess if there's any questions or if you have anything to add, Jared.
Brian does a great job of looking around with always different avenues for funding and stuff for producers out there from all over. And it got pretty wild there for a while, all the different, not only federal and state entities, but also other businesses and things that are looking to invest in the cover cropping and that kind of stuff. You did a really good job of finding those sources and getting people into them. And we also have 2 other staff members that are funded through grants and things like that through the conservation office that do a good job of getting out there and helping.
So if you were to break down the $68,000 and how that's used, can you kind of walk through that a little bit? Just for the general public that probably goes, well, why do we do this? Why do we supply money to the Conservation District?
Okay, so, we consider going into our operations budget, and if you look at that last page of the statement.
Yep.
Yeah. So it goes to salaries for my, for the district manager's position, benefits, if there's any fixed assets that we need to purchase. Our education programs, we do a lot of education programs, and I would say, my predecessor started this with the education programs, Roberta, but we are, through the state, because I participate in a lot of the education stuff, we are by far the biggest education provider in the state. relates to youth or anything. I mean,
Yeah.
it's obvious. I mean, when we are through all the programs, whether it's a poster contest, whether it's a Envirothon, we always have more teams, we always have more posters and other, I mean, it's just something that we put a lot of effort in.
Right.
So, and just, you know, general administrative expenses, you know, support the office and things of that nature. And any kind of education stuff that, you know, that I may need to go to throughout the year, which isn't a whole lot, but,
I appreciate it.
you know. So, you know, we're fortunate right now, there are a lot of programs. I don't know if those are gonna continue on. Money's getting hard to find at times, obviously, but, when it's there, we do everything we can to get the money here.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I for one appreciate the work that you guys do. You know, driving up down the roads, I see it every day. And I do appreciate your education program, when you call the kids up for their poster contest, a smile on their face, and, you know, they get their awards and they're just tickled plumb to death. So, you know, really do appreciate everything you guys do for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, and as we move into budget time, if you've paid any attention to the environment, it's tough finding new money.
Yeah.
I don't believe this county has a lot of fluff when it comes to things, so finding that is, you know, additional money down the road may be difficult. Because we've actually had conversations about possibly trimming up our road and bridge department and doing some different things there. Because people don't want to pay higher property tax, and I get it, I don't like paying property tax either. But I think there are some important things that we do in this county, and there's some mandated things that we have to do in this county, and we have an obligation to fulfill those. And so, anyway, I just appreciate the fact that you were able to break that down. Most people in the public don't understand it.
Yeah.
So, that's,
Well, we appreciate it, and, you know, I did mention our equipment program too, where it really
Rental.
help, the rental equipment, you know, for the smaller producers who can't afford to buy
I
a
think that's
drill or something,
beneficial.
we, you know, so,
I take it.
so, yeah.
It is a good deal. Well, I think it's a good partnership that we have with you guys as a county and with you guys, so. You guys have any questions back there? They just here for moral support? Just here for moral support. Well, I would say to you guys, I know volunteering for a board isn't always popular, so I appreciate board members who are willing to raise their hand up and say, hey, I'll go be part of this. I know it's harder and harder to get people to volunteer to do stuff. Because the pay is probably why you do it. I do appreciate that, so thank you.
We do have a whole group that want to be involved on, like I said, it's volunteer board,
So it makes a difference when you have people who are interested in what you're actually doing. They're not just filling a seat. Yeah, that's important.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You know all of our board members, right? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. And Debbie Keeler couldn't make it this morning, so.
Yeah.
Diverse group.
You've got a good group.
Yep.
Very good. All right.
Thank you.
Very much.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you want extra copy of the minutes I could do?
So we got our answer back from K-Works as to what their bylaw changes were. You know, we asked that last week.
Yeah.
Two significant changes since 2025. First, reduced the percentage of quorum from 50% to 25%. The reasoning was this put in place to help reach quorum more easily at the KAC conference evening meetings, which is probably true. And the second was a change when K-Works reorganized from 6 districts with 1 at-large trustee to 4 districts with 3 at-large trustees. And this was done to increase the geographic diversity where K-Works trustees are located across the state. So that's, I'm comfortable in knowing why they made the bylaw changes, which is what you're wanting to sign off on, so I will go ahead and sign this, since we do know, and I do appreciate them
Yeah, it's nice they answered back.
getting back to us so quick.
I think it's towards the front. I was just wondering in there where the highlights were at. The resolution's in the front.
Resolutions here in front. So, I would entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2026-06, a resolution accepting the amended and restated bylaws and interlocal cooperative agreement for the Kansas Workers Risk Cooperative for counties effective December 9th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to approve resolution number 2026-06, a resolution accepting the amended and restated bylaws and interlocal cooperation agreement for the Kansas Workers Risk Cooperative for counties effective December 9th, 2025. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. This signed. So I do appreciate the quick response from them.
That's just the original. That was the one that I found from 2000.
From 2005,
Which
yeah.
I didn't highlight on it. And I read it through it, compared it to the one that's,
And that's what it was.
those are all the things that I noticed.
Okay. So anybody want to see all this? Yeah. Alright. So we're getting on, we have some tax payments here.
Three, buddy. Thank you.
We have a request from the Netawaka Athletic Club. Request funding for support their Operation Hall program. And I think the last year that's what, 500? Yeah, Netawaka was 2,500. And we also have a request for Boyd Rural Fire for their 4th of July fireworks. Last year we did 500, and those two amounts are already encumbered, so.
So that's Netawaka Ball and
Yes,
Netawaka Park. There's two different, there's both listed on your total of $2,500 for that.
at the athletic club for $2,500, so that would be Netawaka Ball.
For the Netawaka Park isn't something that we're doing. They're splitting it between, okay.
Which one are you looking at, the Netawaka Park?
So, sheet right here. Netawaka Park.
Yeah, we didn't think of that.
Yeah. So we just need to take it off that sheet.
I think that they had probably previously asked for money for that we provided.
Okay.
So there's those two. All right, 10:15. Todd, what you got?
Well, I got the procedure for selling the properties. We'll probably go talk to Lisa about it. It's 6 months after the confirmation of the sale, so we probably won't be able to do this until July, because I can't remember when the sale was confirmed, but I'm pretty sure it was after December 8th, the sale. So the confirmation of the sale is important, says, here's our order, we sold it. So that is just basically a bidding opportunity for people to publish and seal bids. And you get closer to that date, you guys can just figure out a day when you're going to open them and we'll work backwards from there. And then you don't have to sell it to the bidders. You can kind of just say, we don't think that's good enough for what bids you got, and you can do a auction sale after that, with the minimum bid being the highest bid received.
So on the sealed bid, you cannot set a minimum on that?
I don't think it says so. It just says, the board shall accept the highest cash bid received.
But it does not say you cannot set a minimum bid.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about a minimum or anything like that. So I would say, I wouldn't think you'd be able to set a minimum if you were advertised for sealed bids.
Yeah, don't you just want to get it back on the tax rolls?
Yeah. And it says the Board of County Commissioners may reject bids in an amount less than the current market value of the real estate. And if no bid is accepted or received, such board may sell the same for that such sum, that board's judgment to be the fair market value thereof, but no such sale should be made for amount that less than the best bid received, if any, and reject. So you're gonna have, there's gonna be a value of the real estate as it sits, which isn't, I'm gonna presume isn't the actual taxes. It had nothing to do with that. Because these are all, both of them are bare lots in towns. And so it's just what somebody would pay for a city lot or two, and the city would have a lot. But, you hooked up to utilities and all that.
Okay.
So, and if all the bids are lower than that amount, then you guys can reject them and basically sell it at an auction or.
So that one had specials on it. Do you have to at least have to bid for the specials or not?
No.
Okay. Is that one the city tore down and mowed
Oh,
and
that's
stuff?
right.
Had all the specials on it.
And I think both of them do in some
Okay,
respects.
both of them?
Well, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, right. it just, yeah, it's the best bid received, the market value thereof. I mean, I think that if you do whatever proceeds are received, and that's probably a question about who's first and who's second as far as getting the proceeds, right? Because my guess would be that the oldest tax or levy would be the one that would receive funds first. Right? It's taxes for 2022 versus abatement in 2024 and 2022 taxes.
Because I thought once, it might have been different, I thought once in Denison, we had one that had specials, but I think it might have been utilities or something. We had to actually, the attorney actually had to go to Denison and ask for the specials to be taken off so that we could just get the minimum bid on it, but it might have been different.
Well, I mean, my thought on that would be that the sale, the sheriff's sale, would clear,
Okay.
it wouldn't clear, right, it would clear other liens, but would it clear things that you placed on the tax rolls? See, I'm trying to, because what the levies are just enter on as a tax.
Right.
It's different tax.
Right.
Different tax, but it's tax.
Okay.
So you guys are gonna, I mean, we assume that we're all gonna take it on the chin, meaning the
Right,
property's gonna sell for $500 and
right,
we're owed $30,000 and they're owed $2,000.
okay.
So it's just a question of who gets the 500 at this point. But you're right, we got to clear it off so that somebody can buy it, will buy it pretty clear. And I think that's it, the goal of this, or else you would be able to do bids and repay. Because that was the, everybody's chance was at the sheriff's. Because you guys bid in your lien, and that was your chance. You could bid in less than your lien. Then you would have got some action. But that's all you're going to get. Is what it is. So, but we'll keep plugging away at that. Still working on road and bridge maps. I got those in the last week. I went ahead. You're right. I went down to road bridge, found it. They had them there for me, so I got those.
Can I stop you right there for a
Yeah.
second? So it was indicated a week ago that Scott was gone, that they got an email back from Lisa Lamigo from Road and Bridge, and she said, I can't comment on anything, you'll have to talk through our attorney. Is that what, why?
Well, I think that, I have no idea, because I wasn't saying anything, I mean, I guess it depends on what the communication was. It was about the cost share issue.
It was simply, they had asked about, did you receive the information and could you provide that to your attorney? And I think her comment was that, you need to talk to your attorneys.
I can't tell you, I didn't.
Can you clarify that with their attorney?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess the lines of communication.
That's gonna make it pretty difficult
Yeah.
moving ahead.
Well, there was never a discussion in my conference with them about limiting anything as far as back and forth, except for we had to get the ground rules by location. Like, I thought day-to-day business would still continue. So that's why I asked that. They may be overly sensitive to doing something without clearance, so.
Well, I thought the attorney had said for us to get together with their road and bridge and talk. So
Yeah.
where's the instructions, no talk except through the attorney coming from?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's not communication back from there and to them. I don't know. So, but I'll try to get it moving again.
We need a clarification on that, so either we're talking, we're not talking, or you guys are getting involved and this round and round stuff is just not good.
Okay. I think I've located all, at least been provided with, located the HAMs and mid-states contracts that are in place, or, I mean, what's the next step on that, I guess? You want me to try to redraft some, or in the blind, or wait until
I think we have a conversation, that's something that we can have in executive session to talk about how we would want to change that and move forward with it, correct?
Yeah, I just didn't know if you were gonna talk to Mid-States or Hams before that point, or if I'm sorry.
Did we get a copy of those contracts?
Yeah, I'd like to do an executive session just to give some ideas that I have behind changing the contract, moving forward. And what we can and can't do. I think I have some questions about what we can do.
So there's I had one that was 2021 agreement, was just a draft. Clerk had Mid-States was July 5th, 2022, stamped on the top corner. And then we have Hams, 17th of July, 2024.
So, can we have that conversation today to
Sure.
give some, I think the sooner we get a draft out and we get it to them,
Let
so,
them look
because
over
I think
it,
it's,
change
yeah, I
it.
think it's gonna be probably several weeks of back and forth.
Okay.
Just to give you some idea, and I have some questions I think you can answer.
So, yeah, I'd entertain a motion to go into executive session for contract negotiations.
Okay, I move that we go into executive session for the purpose of attorney-client privilege discussion for a period of 20 minutes, beginning at 10:26, come back at 10:46 in this room for the matter of, or for discussing contract negotiations.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to go into executive session for attorney-client privilege, contract negotiations. Unit 10:26 for 20 minutes, opening back to room 10:46. Any further discussion with us and the attorney? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign.
I think she has a message. It's on this line here, so.
Okay. All right, I would entertain a motion to amend the agenda for Rachel Thompson. And what did you want to talk about, Rachel?
Solar ag land use.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, it's probably moved and seconded to amend the agenda to add Rachel Thompson on at 11:03. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Come on up.
I brought papers. This is the first one. So this has to do with solar cost as an energy form. And honestly, it's a whole lot of paper and you're probably gonna need time to look through it, so I'll just run through it as quickly as I can. It has to do with the cost of solar per megawatt. The LCOE, which is the study of levelized cost of energy comparison in comparison to other energy production. They've included solar with storage, geothermal, wind onshore, wind offshore. The other thing is land needed for solar. What they've got with 13 to 14% efficiency is for the entire US, 22,000 square miles. And then if 20% efficiency, you're looking at 10,000 square miles. Let's see. In that same folder, there's estimate of required acres. This is based off of U.S. Department of Energy, Energy Efficiency, Renewable Energy site. They're going with flat plate PV, wind, biomass, solar thermal. Like I said, I'm sorry, it's a lot of information, that's why I included folders. And what that would take for land use per unit of electricity.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
I think so.
Okay, like I said, it's in there with the sources. All right, folder number 2 is one of the things that I guess this is where it comes with land use. 40% of corn and soybeans are used for biofuels in the US, right? So 40% of the acres in Jackson County that are in corn theoretically are being used for ethanol.
Where do you get that number from? The
That-
USDA or?
It's in here. It's from the U.S. Corn Growers Association. National Corn Growers Association. Sorry.
Yep.
And so the next batch has to do with the efficiency per unit produced of ethanol and what that energy comes out to compared to solar energy per acre and what that comes out to. Then that also ties into the fact that for the last 10 years, we've had oversupply of both corn and soybeans over our usage rate, even with the increase of ethanol and even with the fact that we recently passed a, what's it called? They've allowed the 15% blends to be carried into.
E15.
Yes, thank you. To be carried into May, which they've done over the last few years. They're hoping to do that over the summer, but it's still not going to hit our chronic oversupply of corn. My argument would be that with this, I keep hearing that taking acres out of production, we're taking food acres out of production. Whereas very little of our corn and soybeans, none of us eat yellow number 2. It might be used in high fructose corn syrup, but it's generally used in animal feed or ethanol. We're not taking food acres out of production with this. We're taking ethanol or biofuel acres out of production with this and comparing efficiency to efficiency with energy produced. The solar is producing more than the ethanol is. So that's folder number 2. Oh, no, there's more, sorry. The last bit in this is from the USDA, and it has to do with land use after renewable energy installation. So obviously we know that with wind, it may cover a very broad area, but the actual land that's being used is minimal in comparison. And a lot of that land, the majority of that land stays in agriculture.
Mm-hmm.
With solar, obviously less so. It's not going to stay in agriculture because there's going to be panels covering it, but the land around it traditionally stays in agriculture. A surprising amount, actually. Well, land cover change, and that's in the, yeah, we've got it, it's in the folder. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of that stays, and the surrounding acres also stay in agriculture. Okay, number 3 is subsidies, tax breaks. So I know that this county has talked about and has invited the Natrium, how do you say it? Is it Natrium?
Nature,
Okay, which is from TerraPower.
Correct.
Which, first of all, I don't know if you knew this, but that company is founded by Bill Gates.
Understand.
Okay.
Yep.
That's Epstein's buddy. He's still a board chairman.
Go ahead.
Okay. Also, Bill
I'm not
Gates.
I'm not gonna debate somebody who invests money in a company.
No, yeah.
We buy, so my example when other people say this is that I may not agree with the guy who owns Ford, the CEO of Ford, but it doesn't prevent me from buying a Ford truck.
I understand that.
So,
I shop at Amazon.
yeah,
I do not like
So,
Jeff Bezos.
I still use Microsoft
Sure.
products. So using that as a debate, I just don't buy into that.
It is a little more suspicious over the fact that he's the largest private landowner in the U.S.
Very wealthy
He
guy.
has questionable ties with who his buddies are. And the U.S. Department of Energy's pledged $2 billion to him, tax dollars, our dollars, to this company to invest in this energy. That's money that's not tax breaks for the company, that's money that we're putting into this company. And so I guess, I didn't give you folder money, I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
And then I tap it. I know I'm a little bit sloppy, but it's the best I can do. All right, file number 3 is what we've got. The $2 billion that we've awarded to them, they're gonna match it because they've got money to do that. It's something. Anyway, that goes into the rest of the folder where we have, as a country, consistently invested in energy technologies. Coal, we've invested in, including just recently, millions more dollars in coal recently of our tax dollars going to, not tax breaks, not tax cuts, but our money going to coal plants to keep them functional after they've been 50 years in the running.
So when you say that, you're talking about similar to CRP grant where you get a direct rebate.
Absolutely.
So there's millions of acres across Kansas
I've signed acres into CRP.
that you get a direct payment for that.
Yes,
And the same with crop insurance, right?
absolutely.
Crop insurance requires a direct payment to offset the cost, otherwise farmer would be able to afford that, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is the consistency of, we're saying solar is taking up our tax dollars. Solar is subsidized, solar is this, solar is that, wind is this, wind is that. Whereas nuclear is subsidized, nuclear is receiving tax money.
Sure.
Coal, subsidized, coal receiving tax monies. Billions and billions of dollars, even as, well, let's say with nuclear as opposed to coal, because coal's been around for so long. Millions, billions at the onset to get these technologies started. And then there's a chart in comparing what received what in its early years, of what the funding went to, how it worked. That's all in file number 3.
Okay.
Let's see. There's one I highlighted in there. Can't help myself. The first 15 years, critical to new technologies, oil and gas subsidies were about 5 times as much aid to renewables during the first 15 years of development. Nuclear received 10 times as much support. So we're talking about the founding money that's going into these things. It's not a new thing what we're doing with solar or wind. It's an old thing. It's just somehow turned extremely partisan in what party supports what. And I'm guessing it always has been.
You guess it was what?
I'm guessing it always has been partisan.
Oh.
One party goes, this is our darling, this is where our money will go. And then they bastardize the other technologies. This is what we've done traditionally. So in that vein, my husband and I have been called a great many number of names due to our signing
That's
our
unfortunate.
land, one of which is Democrat, which that's the name that they're calling us. I'm registered Republican. It doesn't matter. It's the fact that it's taken this political vibe and said, well, this is a Democrat love child, or this is a Republican love child. And right now, nuclear is a Republican love child. This is where it's going. This is an acceptable energy technology for Republicans. I know I'm trying to finish up here.
I just looked to see what time it was.
Okay.
You're fine.
So that is a run through of what I guess I'm trying to say. I try to present credible sources, lots of .govs. You USDA, National Corn Growers. There's a couple that are gonna be like taxpayers for common sense in there, but those should link back to government studies. With the planning and zoning board coming up, I think it's next week or the week after, talking about moving solar to a moratorium. This has been on the county's table for close to 4 years now. It'll be 4 years this fall, I believe. With the attempt of a moratorium in November of 22. My question is, why would we need a moratorium? And I know this doesn't have to do with the Board of Commissioners, this is planning. But why would we need a moratorium when it's already been 4 years and the regulations are still being looked over, run through, and that sort of thing?
So that's my question. I'm not in favor of a moratorium because in effect, once the regulations are given to us, it's going to be 2-3 years before anything's started anyway, by the time whatever entity comes in and can fit their business model or business plan into our regulations, that to be able to even start anything. And I don't know that as tight as what I'm hearing, we're making regulations, and as tight as we have given them the template for, I don't know that there's any entity that will come in and do it. I really don't.
Right.
So I'm not in favor of a moratorium. Because as you said, it's been 4 years. I don't want to keep kicking the can down the road. I want to get it over, done with. We have bigger fish to fry than this.
Yes.
And I want to get this over and done with. And putting a 2-year moratorium on it, I don't think it's going to be a wise move for us. But we'll see what happens.
As a landowner, it'd be really nice to be able to make more permanent long-term plans, whether that's building fertility rates, line, these kind of things. It would be nice to come to some kind of conclusion here. The other thing is, I think obviously you know that I'm invested in this from a financial standpoint. This benefits my family a great deal. This benefits my land a great deal if it goes through. The thought of being able to put more into grassland makes me really happy. It should never have been put into farmland, but my great-grandparents bought it as farmland, and that's how I make the land know. It would be a financial boom to the county to see those tax dollars come in when we hear a lot of people talking about their property tax rates going up, which you guys just heard a fair amount about at the town hall meeting. I guess I would like open-mindedness toward the option and not partisan. And I'm not saying y'all are being partisan.
Right.
But open-mindedness over what if it did work? What if it actually wasn't the great Satan that we're hearing it to be? And it isn't political, it is energy generation. So, I got one more thing and I'll get out of your hair. One of the things that I've thought about is worst case scenario. I like having backup options. It's how it's always been. So let's just say, as we like to dwell in the fear of this, worst case scenario happens and my land is unusable, either during setup, after setup, whatever. They decimate my ground and it is no longer usable. It would still be my problem. It would still be my land, and I would still have to pay property taxes and land note on it. That doesn't fall on my neighbors, the same people that are like, well, my views would be wrecked. They won't be helping me pay those tax dollars. They won't be helping me pay the land note. That falls on me. And I have 4 generations backing me of consistently paying our tax dollars, consistently making improvements and being stewards of this land. And it has been our problem, and it will continue to be our problem, managing invasive weeds, erosion, etc. I think it's time to stop swirling around in the fear and look at it as a really great opportunity. With caution, with research. But, all right. But that's it. That's all I got.
All right, thank you. I appreciate the information.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I do hope you guys look through the folders.
Yep.
I know it's a lot, but thank you very much.
Thank you. I don't think we have to, since those are the appropriations and part of it.
What's that? Donations?
Yeah, those appropriations have already been encumbered, Christie has encumbered everything, and I don't think we made any motions to approve.
No, it's the checks and the appropriations then?
What's that?
The checks, I mean, you're saying that you've already paid them?
No,
Okay.
What do we, I can't hear what you're talking about.
they're talking about the encumbrances for Netawaka Bowl, and I don't think we've had motions on those in the past.
Well, I mean, it's a donation.
It's for the ball associations, typically we have, right?
We always have motions.
Do we? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then I will entertain a motion to approve $500
They're,
to,
and just to clarify, they're not encumbered until we give permission for them to be encumbered.
we told Christie to go
They're-
ahead and encumber all the amounts so that it was already set aside. So if they are
The money's
encumbered,
there
yes, and it is encumbered,
out of the alcohol fund.
yes.
Okay.
And my distinction was, if you had already issued the checks and
No, they
appropriation.
have not been, they have not been
Okay,
issued.
and that's, I mean, I'm just saying that if you guys send out the money, we haven't made a motion to approve it, you're kind of stuck because you've done the appropriation process.
Yeah.
Just
So I move that we approve the,
Hoyt Fire Department for $500 for their July 3rd fireworks.
back.
and the Netawaka
Let's
ball.
do them separate. Let's,
You want them separate?
yeah, let's do them separate.
Hoyt Fire Department, $500 for their fireworks.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve $500 out of the alcohol fund for Hoyt Rural Fire Department fireworks. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye, all opposed, same sign. And I'd entertain a motion for $2,500 to the Netawaka Athletic Club for their ball program.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve $2,500 to the Netawaka Athletic Club for their ball association out of the alcohol fund. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye, all
Aye.
opposed, same sign, motion carried. All right.
That one makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna have to be paid out of the current rock fund, but it's 4% is the 4% that we had set aside.
She said just like, so,
Yeah, and then we'll transfer in.
then the funds are there, she said just so we can track how much we spent on that.
Yeah.
Just to let it.
Okay.
Does that make
So
sense?
the money that was set aside out of the 4% from last year is spent. So there's still rock that needs to be hauled to W, so they're going to just let it go over it and then we'll transfer in to cover that.
How much is it gonna go in red? I mean, do we have an estimate?
Right now, I'm not sure how far they are on there. They were hauling dirt and building the
It's
road up.
$60,000 set aside, and I was told that would finish that project.
It was a guesstimate.
Well, it shouldn't be a guesstimate. I mean, length of road, width of road, depth of gravel, they can calculate that. But I'm not in favor of letting them go in the red. If they're out of money, let's have a conversation about it before we.
That's fine. Let's get them back in there then and talk about it. But what I'm saying is, yes, it was truly a guesstimate on that because they guesstimated how much rock you're gonna have to haul. And they started having to haul from Atchison, so that's adding cost to that for the, not necessarily the gravel, but it's adding cost to it for the, overhead on that. We've just talked about overhead going up on things, so, if we can get Scott back in here or Joe back in here, or both of them, to have a conversation, that's fine.
Yeah, I want a number
So how
before
much
we.
in red is it?
The report that I printed and gave to you doesn't show that it's in red. Mary said that it is, Mary Savage.
Oh, your salary, so
Because they have tickets out there on that they haven't turned in. So the reports that I gave you earlier still shows that there's money in there.
right?
But she called last week and said that it's out. So I don't know.
So let's get some answers, get somebody back in here.
I can call Mary and ask her what her
Yes.
balance is.
Sure, we need something then, so, yep.
Hey Mary, what is your balance that you have to pay now? Your balance? Like end of day Friday or? Okay. And then that includes all of Friday.
So at the end of the day, Friday, we were 11,000 over. 11,575.39.
That's a bunch.
I think it's good.
That's 24 loads out on.
Seconds all over. Right there.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so somewhere at the half will be good enough for Thursday. Okay. Yeah, it's hard to go.
So I'll try to call Scott on the phone, see if I can get him in here.
What's the rumpus? What's the rumpus?
Well, they had set aside money from last year's budget to finish W Road, a project. Now they're $11,000 over that. I want to know why and how much more it's going to be before I give just a blank check and say, yeah, just keep going and let me know what the number is.
Hey, buddy, where you at? Is there any way you can slip back in here? We're being told that W is out of money from the 4%, so we need to find out what's going on.
I realize after.
All right, thanks, bud.
I couldn't figure out if I printed that. Okay, yeah, well, it was in the, so that was Scott's paper, I don't know if I printed it out, but I can pull it. Who's calling? Mary. Okay. What's the same question?
Okay. How long did he give you an indication how long
He was heading back to shops and gonna turn around and head this way.
Okay. I'll be back in a minute.
April 23rd, 2024.
April 23rd.
I mean, the subpoena itself, there's like 2 questions in it. It's very specific about when we're talking about. It's actually, it's January, well, it says right here, they want everything from January 1 of 2024 to the present, which would be about the search on April 23rd to 25th.
Somewhere in the 23rd to the 14th. Somewhere in there.
It says for the Larison property, and this is where there's what to, it would be about the search, not necessarily on the dates.
I mean, so to address the W road, a week ago, it was reported the W road balance was $38,598. So we burned through $38,000 worth of in 7 days. That, I
But
mean,
that might have been, they might not have had all the tickets turned in either, so that's the thing on that too, you gotta.
and they should be doing a better job, they should be doing a better job of keeping track of that.
Of having their people bring the.
I don't think it's rocket science on Friday to add up the tickets and know on Monday where you're at. And most 5th graders could do that.
She called last week and told us so that I could bring it to you today.
She called last week saying that there was still $11,000 worth of tickets.
Saying that they had ran out.
Well, somewhere there's a miscommunication between, you're saying
And
Mary,
after Monday.
you're saying
After
Mary.
Monday's meeting, yes.
Somewhere there's a disconnect where somebody's not getting all the information, whether that's Joe or Mary and Jennifer aren't giving them the correct information. And again, Monday was reported there was still $38,000 to go. Now we're 11,000 over. Right? That's what she's reporting, that we're 11,000, so that's what, $49,000?
They can, I mean, I don't know who they have going, they can probably do that in a day.
All $40,000 worth in a day?
Maybe.
24 loads was $11,000.
Yeah, these are belly dumps so they can haul 10.
I'd like to know,
more.
we can guess all day. I want to know facts.
Yeah.
I'm tired of extending this project up there on W. I want to know where we're at on it, and how much farther we got to go.
You guys need me to hang here?
I can't think of anything.
Okay.
All right, y'all be good. Have a good one. See you next week.
All right, you guys have a good day. Hope it gets rainy.
Yeah. Hey guys. Okay, it was reported to us that W line item's out of money, and they still were $11,000, $11,575.39 short at the end of Friday.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Just, yeah, found it out today. When I left, there was around 68,000 in there.
Okay.
That's where we're at. And we hadn't paid Atchison at that time yet. So that had to come in. The sign-off sheet I had today was for 22,000 something. But that was out of the regular box budget, so it was not out of the 4%.
And that was 4W?
Yep.
Okay, so at this point, we're 11,000 over on W, and we're not done.
Right. And I've been telling you guys this for the past 3 or 4 months, that we're not gonna have enough money to finish up with that account.
Okay, so what is the final, what is the final count? Do you have an estimate?
I was figuring we'd probably be about 30,000-40,000 short from where we started, because we came back. When we first started W, 254 to 270, we put half the rock down. Then next we were going to do the 270 on up, 286, whatever. So we were budgeting money for all that there. They came back and put the rest of the rock down on the W from 254 to 270.
Yeah.
Okay. That's where some extra money went right there. It's covering that. So I did not figure for that at the time when the number was given. So, and that's why I'm saying that we're going to be short. So, right now, the little spur off of W Road, all the rock is there. They're going to try and lay it out this week. You know, goes up to 9 highway, what I'm talking about the grain bins. You know, we had to slow off right there because the guy had a contract to haul corn out of there. So we did that the last couple of weeks. So right now, from the curve up to 9, all the rock is there.
Yeah.
Got no more cost going there. We've still got the big pile of rock there by the grain bin. Right now, I couldn't tell you how many tons are there, but it's a pretty pile. The mile coming from 286 up to, where were we at, 294? Okay. All the 2 inches is there. We're gonna start laying it out Wednesday, hopefully, depending on the weather. Hopefully we'll get rain on it, now, water. So a lot of the rock is there, but again, we're starting to short.
There's a huge rock pile, it's not enough. But I think this was budgeted a year, maybe 2 years ago, and the rock prices extremely went up, so $5 a ton. That's part of it.
Okay, so we think at this point, with another 20,000, if we're 11,000 over now,
I'd say at least that. Nice. Okay. Yeah. Well, how can you budget something when you know like that? The prices are changing. So it was a guess at that time.
it was an educated guess. I mean, you know the width of the road, you know the depth of the gravel, and you know the length of the road, right?
Yep.
I just feel like it appears to me that W is just dragging on.
And that's where we just came from.
Are they working?
Yep. That's what we were talking, we're getting with Matt at 1 o'clock after this meeting, or today, and discuss how we get more people up there on it. I said if we need to run another water truck like we did before, we'll run another water truck.
Okay.
We've got 2.
Yeah. So the plan is for this week, We're gonna finish that section we couldn't do because of the farmers were working there. So that's why I was done already. But that's gonna be finished. And then they've gravelled about a quarter of a mile, and that's gonna also be finished. There's a lot of work on that curve that to do, and the approach will take some time too, like into the town. But a big section of that, like, it has been slow, and we haven't had enough people up there just due to, there's that cold, like everybody was sick last week, and so it was slowed down. But our meeting today was specifically for how do we speed this up.
Right.
And like Scott said, we're gonna put in another water truck, and if needed, another grader. We don't know that we need that yet. It depends on what the weather does. If it rains, we may not even need the extra water truck. They can still put gravel down when it's raining.
Sure.
Like on a project like that. You can't do that everywhere, but for a project like this, we can. So that's our, but yeah, we were,
Okay.
the budgets were out of money, but we knew we were going to be there.
You're out of money for that project. Now we're gonna start eating into the budgeted and/or 4%. Okay.
And I remember Scott saying that he said all along, they're gonna be short, that's not gonna be enough to cover it. So I remember him saying that all along, so,
Okay.
out of the 4%.
I'd just like to know where the end is and what we think that's gonna be and when we think that's gonna be. So we can.
I would love to see it.
All right, I appreciate
But-
it.
We'll do more after our meeting today, too.
Okay.
But again, too, don't forget, we're working on the straight part of the roads. We've still got those two big S curves right there at 286. We really haven't done anything. We've done a little ditching right there. That's a lot of dirt hauling and building up some of those corners. Not gonna be a huge amount of rock, but there's gonna be labor.
And this, plus we have to prep for the chip and seal and the dust control. They're not gonna wait for us, so
Right.
we'll have to deal with that. But that's part of our meeting too. Let's see if that's gonna overlap. We don't know that yet.
Okay.
I was thinking about calling the dust control guy and tell him not to even start with us until the end of April. Give us some time to get some things done. Because on our deals we sent out to all the residents, we said it probably wouldn't be until the 1st of May that we would have to start anyway. So, like I said, I'm thinking more of just our people, and spreading them out.
But if you're doing dust control, you have an operator from that area that's prepping the road, right?
And a water truck.
And a water truck.
If we have water trucks up there that are needed. Again,
I wouldn't push it back too far.
that's it.
If the availability is there, a month is a long time. What do you think the W project? I mean,
It really depends on what we can come up with here. If we can come up and get more people on the job, of course, it's going to speed it up.
okay, so Matt has including Matt, there's 8 people in his area. Robert Miller,
He's already up there.
Jason Megason,
He's already up there.
Todd Rollins.
Todd was getting two ready for June.
Right, but he's under Matt.
Yeah.
Okay? All these people are under him. So of those 8 people, we don't have enough people to move them up there and pull them off?
So
That's what we're just talking about.
As opposed to guys on graders?
Yes.
Okay.
Take these,
Just
stop these guys, what they're doing, so the 2, big deal, waits a week,
Right,
got extra help. That's kind of what we're gonna look at.
okay, good.
But utilize these people up there, just like the one in King ditching out here. If they get that wrapped up, then we got 2 more guys we can put up there.
Okay.
But they're kind of in the 2, they don't have water endorsements, so we drive the tankers. You have to have a tanker endorsement to be driving the water trucks. we're kind of limited on who we can stick in this, you know?
The man only has 6 credits. If you count Frank, Frank is actually a semi-driver.
Oh, this is what came from HR. So, okay, let's go through those real quick. So there's math supervisor, Jason Megason, Jerry Searles,
Yes.
Okay?
and Jay. David,
Yeah.
okay? Frank,
He's a semi-driver, but I would include him in mass still.
Todd,
Probably yes.
Jason, and Robert.
He said Jason already.
Or no.
Yeah,
Did
dude.
it say twice?
With Jason, yeah, they have Jason Megason on here twice.
Megason should be there one time in focus, so late out there.
What was the last question you said?
Robert Miller. Yeah, I think they put Jason Megason on here twice. Okay,
Yes,
So
that's right.
7 total, 6 plus Matt.
Yeah, I would consider, even though Frank is 99% a semi, I would call him mass fan. But he could be a semi-driver if he's just in the military to go.
Okay, alright. I don't have any other questions.
Okay. Linda? All right.
And just to bring back to your question there earlier about we do not monitor the fuel out here. The only tank that we can monitor anymore is the one down here at the bridge yard.
Okay.
And those are the ones that we were complaining about, that things not working properly. So have not been able to see Brett yet, but that's where we were planning on heading here.
Okay.
For this one.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for coming back, guys.
And whenever they did find out the fuel was empty, one of the drivers come in and said he was sucking air. Bryson asked Mary, when was the last time we got fuel? She called him and he immediately called Fletcher and was asking him where the fuel was at. So kind of how that went down.
Alright, thank you, I appreciate you letting us know.
Thank you.
I did.
See anything?
No.
Did you need copies of the lawyer contracts?
Yeah, if you email those, I don't know, look them over, but we can kind of make, once we get those copies of contracts for the quarries, we can kind of look them over, make changes, and then come back and see if we can come up with.
What?
Do you want to know or I did?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, email's fine.
Email's fine with me.
You said for the contract for the quarry, I already have Dennis the quarry. So just him, all I need.
Yeah, that one's sold as
Oh, yeah, they got sold, I don't remember. Oh, Martin Marietta. Martin Marietta bought those. So yeah, so we probably need to do that anyway. Martin Marietta, that's an old name. Anything in Fort Notes, you ever mentioned in here?
Trying to get a copy of this one for super, but, oh,
I think it was,
yeah,
yeah, it was, okay.
Has everyone had a chance to read their minutes of March 23rd, 2026?
I have.
Any changes or corrections? Okay, if not, I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes of March 23rd, 2026 as presented.
so moved.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded to approve the minutes of March 23rd, 2026 as presented. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carried.
See, Kirk was getting his electrical work done out in the. Yeah.
Is he still working on it, or did he get it done? Do you know?
What's that?
Is he still working on it, or did he get it done?
It was supposed to have been done, I think, Friday.
I think he got all the directional boards and everything done.
Well, I think we're still waiting and stuff on here, so, but I think it's.
So we had update completed.
What's that?
8 minutes ago, we had an update, so it's completed.
Great.
Transformers have been fully installed and are operational. this, but I think that there is supposed to be another person in place of this person.
Okay. Might check on that next week.
Because I think Peyton would be the brand new on this. Now Peyton's in that spot.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, just check on that, let us know next week.
Just like I want me.
You know, municipal for contract, they pay out that. They pay out the 15 cents every 30 days. Yeah. What we got with mid-six.
But just kind of,
Yeah. We need to include Buster still for hands in their contract too.
Hams agrees to donate on a calendar year basis a minimum of 500 tons.
Huh?
It says right here, Hams agrees to donate on a calendar year basis a minimum of 500 tons of road rock meeting county specifications to the county.
What item is that? What contract are we reading?
Item number 5 on Hams.
The 15 cents is to pay for the dust control.
The 15 cents is to pay for the dust control, yes.
That's what it says.
I can't hear.
The 15 cents is to pay for the dust control. So that's gonna have to be raised because that cost has gone up, so. But did you read line number 5? Are we getting that?
I can't imagine they're doing. I don't. Maybe they are. To maintain that road,
Well,
that's a question Scott will have to answer.
yeah, it says county will control and pay for the application of dust palatable agent. But that 15 cents is probably gonna have to be raised a little bit because that cost has gone up too, so.
I'd like 15 cents plus them paying the cost of it.
I want to see if we can get 500 tons. And you said, oh crap, he's followed again. Hey, got a question for you. We're just looking over the, we've got the Hams quarry and the mid-states up. We're kind of looking those over. In the Hams Quarry agreement, on line number 5, it states Hams agrees to donate on a calendar year basis a minimum of 500 tons of road rock meeting county specifications to the county. Are they doing that? Well, I will have 2020, I think it was, wasn't it? I will have Tara send you a copy of that contract. The 17th day of July 2020. And that's specifically what it states in there. It's 500 tons to be donated to the county. So I'll have Tara send that to you. You look it over and see what you think. Because if we haven't get that, then we can start enforcing it. So, okay. All right, sounds good, bud. Thank you. Bye. So it's news to him, he's never seen a Hams contract.
Signed by Ed Catherines and Bill Elmer.
Yeah. I mean, that's a heck of a deal if we're getting it, but if we're not getting it, do we go back and ask for money back?
Part of the
And
conversation.
it's sold now, so,
Guess what?
but it's not Hams anymore.
Well, that's true, but yeah, I agree. It's not Hams anymore. It's Martin Marietta, so we're gonna have to talk to them. But if we've not been getting after this length of time, then that's a conversation like you said we had. So, I had a gentleman tell me about the, and he's got a heck of a good point, about the intersection there, Wayyer Road.
Who's?
Your homeowner.
134th and 75.
Yeah, about where they're putting the new business at and semis coming out. Don't we force the semis from the haul route to go up to the overpass and over? We can do the same thing on that, can't we? Because there's not enough room for semis in between there. So going south, they'd be okay crossing because there's a pull-off lane there, isn't there? Or is that just a shoulder? Okay.
Yeah, when you're turning south, if you're turning to go east with a semi, you can if traffic's right, but if it's not, I take my semi up to the turnaround by where our maintenance yard is.
Oh,
I
there's
go
no
through-
room there.
I go through there and I come back.
Yeah. So that's something we're gonna have to kind of look at and address. Would that be us or the planning commission?
That would be us. We'd have to do a resolution stating that traffic coming out of there, semi-traffic coming out of there must turn to the right to turn around, go to 150th.
And then we could force them up to the turnaround up by the,
150th.
yeah. Well, but then we could force them south to turn around.
I don't know that you
I don't know if we
you
can do
can't, that's state highway.
Yeah.
It's not us. We can't do anything about that. But we can coming off of that
Off the
intersection.
road, yeah.
That's what we did on 142. They don't follow it, but most don't follow it. But somebody called you about that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who? Who?
Mr. Akins, he was concerned about the semi-traffic through there because he said, we don't like to take our solid there through there.
County commissioners.
So, yeah, he was concerned about the semi-traffic coming out of there, coming across the highway over.
That's funny that you told me about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can, same thing that we do with the other.
Okay. That sounds good to me. All right, anything else to be?
so that the invoice can be getting approved for that previous one. Did you want to talk to them? Okay,
Who is it?
just talk. It's Mary Savage.
What does she want?
She wants to explain our invoice to you.
Why did? Just put her on speaker. So everybody can hear. You there? All right, go ahead.
Okay, the quarry in Ashland. I do not get an invoice for that quarry until the beginning of the following month, which they mail it to us, and that is for the entire month prior. So what I did on Friday was I took each rock ticket and I typed it by 17 on a spreadsheet, and then that's why all of a sudden it went from 38,000 down to 2,000 and some dollars in the hole. Now, because I added Friday and Thursday, that's why you are $11,000 in the hole. And I am not a fifth grader, and I do not appreciate that.
I didn't call you a fifth grader.
Well, I'm the one that's taking care of the rock again.
Yes. I'm aware of who's taking, Mary, I'm aware of who's taking care of it. And I didn't call you a fifth grader. I said any fifth grader should be able to calculate that, meaning our supervision, Scott or Joe, should be able to calculate that and figure that out.
They don't keep the wrong tickets until I give them the total to turn it to you on Monday. I'm the one that's keeping all the spreadsheets and everything for the rock, for the regular rock, the 4% rock, and the Dutch Road project. And I give them the total to give to you on Monday.
Okay?
So I'm just explaining why we went from 38,000 down to a negative number, and that's because I do not have an invoice for the Ashland Court. But I figured up each rock ticket, times it by 17 a time, that's why you're 11,000 in a hole.
And my problem is with Scott and Joe, they should be monitoring that, and they should have an accurate number when they come in here on a Monday morning. It has nothing to do with you.
I'm the one that figures that up to give them that total to turn in to you on Monday.
Okay,
And
thanks.
if I don't have the invoices, I cannot update what's showing on Christie's report versus what is showing on mine.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
So it says in here in the HAM's agreement too, either party may change its address by giving notice, but there's nothing in there about the result business, so. They can then, but they theoretically change your address, so.
I don't know, they'd have to,
I think the address is still the same.
Is it still the same?
If we just got
Just
a
change the
different, yeah, we just got a different invoice.
no,
The
I think
address
they
was
would
the
have to
same.
honor any contract that was currently
Yeah.
being honored, but that's a question for Todd.
So I'm curious about that 500 tons, that just got me intrigued about that now. Good lord. That's a lot of rock.
It is. It is indeed.
Alrighty. Well, is there any more business to come before us today? Is that it? Derek, anything else?
I don't think so.
Alright. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Okay, it's been probably moved and seconded to adjourn this meeting. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.